We have Auburn Elementary fifth graders, and they are meeting here with Jacob Levin, and they're going to take a tour of the hybrid 2019 Chevrolet Blazer.
So my name is Jacob Levin. I'm currently a senior at Virginia Tech, and I'm studying public relations. So I'm actually not in the engineering world of science things, but I get the opportunity to come present and talk about it with all you guys. So it really helps to show that science is bigger than what we think, which is all what the Virginia Tech Science Festival is about, which is a great opportunity. So as they were saying, I'm here on behalf of the hybrid electric vehicle team. We are a part of a 4-year competition. I'll say it again. We're the hybrid electric vehicle team, and we compete in a competition called the Eco Car Mobility Challenge. So the Eco Car Mobility Challenge is part of what we call the Advanced Vehicle Technology Competition. So I know that's a lot of words and it's a long phrase. We like to call it the AVTCs, 4 letters because it's simple and easy to say. So this competition and this series of competitions has been around since 1988. So that's older than I am. It's been around for quite some time. And over the years of our competition, there's been 93 different universities that have competed in this. So we are just one of the universities that has been able to compete with it. So as I said, this started in 1988, and this gives you the opportunity to kind of see a timeline of the entire competition. So right now, if you look at my cursor, all the way over here on the right, this is the Eco Car Mobility Challenge. So that's where we are today, right now. That's present time. And this 4 years started in 2018, and it's going to go till 2022. So we're right in the middle of it. Right here where it says Future Car, this green one, this is when Virginia Tech actually started in the competition. So we've been doing this since the early 90s. We've been doing this for quite some time. So the Eco Car Mobility Challenge, it's a 4-year competition. We've got some pretty good sponsors, some awesome sponsors that help us out with donations or giving us, engineering parts so we can work on the car. Anything that we need, they're here to help us with. But the 3 big ones that we like to say thank you to are General Motors, so the automotive company. They're the ones who actually gave us this car. There's MathWorks, who is a software company that helps us with all of our computer technology and anything else that we need. And then also the US Department of Energy. So that is, a government-funded organization that deals with the environment. So there's about 50 of us on our team. So 50 students, that's more people that's in this call. It's a lot of people, and we all get to work on this car right here. So there's 3 main engineering disciplines or 3 engineering teams that make up hybrid electric vehicle team. So we have the PSI. It's a long acronym, but what PSI does is they're the ones who deal with all the mechanical stuff. So that means if there's an engine problem, they take care of it. If there's electrical problems, so running all the wires, as you can see right here, running all the wires to the car, that's on them. They're the ones who do all of that, and they're all students at Virginia Tech. The next group is our PCM. So this is this red box right here, the PCM group. They're the ones who control all the computers in the car. And then the last group is the CAV. So CAV, which is this green box. And I think this is my favorite one because they do all the cool stuff. So ultimately, our car is going to be able to drive itself. So it's got a bunch of cameras on it. It's got a bunch of sensors on it. It's got everything all over the car so it can be able to drive itself. So a hybrid combines 2 of those. So it has a battery and it has a gasoline motor. So we actually have 2 different motors in the car, one that's powered by electricity and one that's powered by gasoline. And another cool thing is our team, when we got our vehicle right behind us, it was only gasoline. So over the past 2 to 3 years, our team has been turning it into a hybrid. And that's really the ultimate goal of our competition, is to be able to turn this car into a hybrid to make sure that we can go further on less gasoline, making it more fuel efficient is how we like to call it. So here's a better picture of our car. So right now, you see the back of it with the trunk open, but this is our car. So this is the 2019 Chevrolet Blazer. It's a new car. When we got it, it had about 300 to 400 miles on it. So not a lot of miles on it, which is pretty cool. And we've had the opportunity to fix it and work on it and do a bunch of stuff to it. And we've been doing this for the past 2 years, and it's been awesome. So right now, we're currently in our year 3. So this is the 3rd year of our competition. But I'm going to take a step back to this yellow box right here for our year 1. This is what we call our architecture selection. We don't even have the car. So they haven't sent us the car yet. And during this year, we take the time to plan everything. So as I said earlier and explained earlier, it's a hybrid, right? So we have a gasoline engine and we have an electric engine. So during year 1, we have to figure out, do we want to put a new engine in it, a new gasoline engine in it? What electric engine do we want to put in it? Where are we going to get everything to fit in this car? Because these are big things. Where are we going to get it all to fit? So then we step into year 2. So year 2, which was last year, this is when we got the car. So they sent us the car. It showed up here. I'm on the Virginia Tech campus right now. So I'm in Blacksburg. We're right in front of the car. This is where it showed up. And during this year is where we kind of took everything apart. So year 1, we planned everything. And year 2, we took it all apart and put it back together. Year 3 is where we are now. This is kind of our year to refine everything. So by that, I mean, during year 2, we put it all together. Well, we might need to fix a couple things, tighten some bolts, loosen some bolts, maybe move some stuff around. We've been doing this for quite some time, as I've said a bunch. This is one of the cars that we used to work on. So this is from about 10 years ago. So this is a relatively old car. And this one was also a hybrid. The next one is my favorite car. This is our Camaro. This is the coolest thing. I love this car. It's a hybrid. So it has that electric and gasoline motor in it, but it makes 500 horsepower and goes 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. This is a time lapse. So this is, like I said, during year 2, when we kind of took the car apart and put it back together, this is a whole time lapse of us doing that. So this is us taking the hood off. There we go. So this is us taking the front of the car off. So look, as you can see, we're taking the engine out of the bottom of the car, and then we're going to lift the car up and pull it out. So here's our engine. It's out. So we're taking it and putting it on a different subframe. So I'll explain what a subframe is in a second. But we're switching out those. And then what we're about to do is we're going to put it back into the car. So we'll lower the car down on top of the engine, and then we'll pull it up from the bottom with our crane, as you can see right there. Which is pretty cool. So this actually happened back in January. So here are some pictures that I took from that time. So this is on the left side. So this is that engine that we pulled out, right? The first time when we dropped it out of the bottom of the car or pulled it out from the top, this is where it was. That's the engine. And this is us kind of moving it around. So we're checking it. We're doing a safety inspection on it. And notice how we're all wearing glasses and stuff. We all take safety very seriously. It's a very important part of us. And I know it's a very important thing for science. So always remember, safety comes first when it comes to this kind of stuff. Here's us putting that engine back in. So we're kind of lining it up under the car. And what's about to happen is, you guys saw in the videos, we're going to drop the car down right on top of it and bolt it all together, and our engine's in the car. That kind of brings us up to where, this is the state of the vehicle. We've got it kind of put together. We're working on refining some of the things right now. Let's show the car. So this is the back of our car. So right here where my hand is, this is where our giant battery goes. So as I said earlier, it's a hybrid car, which means we have a battery and a gasoline motor, and that's where the battery sits. That's a computer right there. That's a computer right there. And there's one more, that white box back there. That's another computer. So there is no battery. It's actually being fixed right now. That's part of our refinement year, is fixing everything. This is our new engine. This is what was shown in the video. This is what you saw when all of those team members were lifting the engine and putting it into the car.
How fast is the car supposed to go?
So I actually don't know. I believe the base car goes around 150 miles an hour. So it's pretty fast, but I think our car will be a little bit slower. So as I was talking about earlier, we want to be able to go as far as we can with the least amount of gasoline, right? So that means we have to put a smaller engine in to be able to save some of that gasoline to make it more fuel efficient. So we put a smaller engine in it. So I'm not exactly sure what the specs are yet. But as I said earlier, I'll say it again, the Camaro we have, which is our vehicle before, It went 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 4 seconds.
Does it have a Tesla motor in it?
The one that we put in is actually from General Motors. It is a General Motors engine, and we got to get that with them through this competition. That's a great question.
When you've been making the engines, have they ever blew up before?
They have not blown up. That's a great question. So as I've been saying, we take safety very seriously. It's a very, it's a big thing for us because we want to make sure everyone stays safe when working on the car. So we take all the safety precautions. We have, books about this big that kind of lay out everything that say, do this and do this and do this. And that's to help avoid any incident like that. So no, our vehicle has never had an incident like that. That's a good question though. Thank you.
I want to thank Jacob so much for being here and presenting the hybrid 2019 Chevy Blazer to us in the Wear Lab there.